Hello there, Matt here with 5280 Armory. This week I'm going to be shooting one of Sig's newest firearms. It's the Sig MCX Spear LT. This is the third rendition of this model, so let's dive in and let's take a closer look at it. The predecessor to today's firearm would have been the original MCX, it was followed by the Virtus, and now, like we said, we're looking at the Spear LT. So what changes can we expect to see? While many of the features have been retained from the original MCX and the Virtus, one of the things we'll first notice is the two screws that you're going to find on the forend. This is going to help with the deflection issue that they were having on earlier models, due to having too much weight hanging off your forend. The second change is the barrel. It's heavier than the original MCX, but lighter than the Virtus, and Sig is claiming this is not going to degrade your accuracy, even when it's compared to the heavier Virtus barrel. The third significant change is the addition of the ambidextrous bolt catch. That's the same one that you'll find on the M400 DH3. That's their competition rifle. Nothing about the connectivity from the lower to the upper has changed. As a matter of fact, you can grab an assembled upper from a Virtus and put it right on the new Spear LT. These changes are somewhat subtle in my opinion, but it's really nice to have an MCX back out on the market again. Something different than an AR-15 that's able to be shortened due to its design on the recoil system. We all remember the recall of the original MCX, most specifically that of the bolt carriage. With a company like Sig Sauer, we should be able to expect that that will be a thing of the past. But let's take a step back. What are some of the features you can expect to find out of the box on the new Spear LT pistol? Starting with the back end of the pistol, you're going to find a feature that's becoming common on many of the Sig firearms. It's a Picatinny rail. That'll allow you to install an arm brace, or even go so far as to install a stock if you decide to fill out your Form 1 and turn it into an SBR with the ATF. In front of the rail, you're going to find the newly reinforced steel anti-rotational QD sling mounts. In the past, this was just a beefed up portion of the lower that was obviously made out of aluminum. Below that, you're going to find Sig's proprietary grip. It has a hinged floor plate at the bottom that provides a small storage space. As a side note, the floor plate is quite hard to get into, so plan on having something other than your fingernails to get it open. The front and back strap have horizontal relief cuts. The grip texture is moderately stippled. I would say that the grip is in the medium size. You'll find smaller out there and certainly larger as well. The safety is ambidextrous and it's clipped on the right side, a little bit shorter, and that's going to favor the right-handed shooter. It also has a very tactile feel to it, leaving no doubt that you have changed from a safe to a fire position or vice versa. And for those of us that haven't lost too much hearing yet due to all of our shooting, it's very audible as well. The trigger guard is integrally machined into the lower, but it's oversized, so you should be able to expect to use reasonably sized gloves. The trigger is two-stage, and Sig refers to it as their flat blade match trigger. It's AR-15 compatible for those of you that prefer something different. For example, a lighter pull weight, or maybe even just a simple single stage, for those of you that are just quite used to that. The left side mag release has a rocker style motion to it, whereas the right side has an oversized push button that's perfectly located so I don't have to readjust my grip to use it. The bolt catch on the left side also has that rocker style motion. It has two finger pads so you can decide which one you like best. The right side has that feature that we had mentioned earlier. It's the lever. It's awfully close to the mag release, so I'll have to see if that causes me any retraining when I'm out on the range shooting. The magwell has a real generous flare to it, and that's something that I really like. I'll take all the help I can get. Now let's move on to the upper. The charging handle is ambidextrous, and it's oversized. That's a good thing, because don't expect that pull weight to be the same as an AR-15. It's good to have that extra surface area to have something to hang on to. The seldom used forward assist smacks of a government request to me. Piston driven, coupled with a double spring, robust recoil system, will make this feature only necessary if you're using out-of-spec ammunition or if your weapon's filthy, or both, but we all know that does happen from time to time. The shell deflector is oversized, and that will be adequate for the left-handed or the ambidextrous shooter. I'd rather have an oversized deflector than take a spent casing to the nose. Even on this pistol, there seems to be about a mile's worth of Picatinny rail space, about 16 inches to be a little bit more precise. So don't worry about the optic you're going to use. Don't forget they beefed up the forend with these two screws. That'll help with any deflection, just in case you are using oversized equipment. I myself am planning on just running a smaller red dot on this pistol, so we'll save most of this discussion about the deflection when we're running something like a rifle. There's lots of M-lock space at the 9, 6, and 3 o'clock position. And if that's not enough, you have more M-lock space at the 10, 2, 5, and 7 o'clock position, not to mention that Picatinny rail space at the top. All these M-lock slots do help to lighten the forend, and if you remember correctly, way back when with the early MCX, lightweight was definitely one of the goals that they were trying to come in with. Towards the front end of the forend, you're going to find an oversized opening that's going to allow you to operate the two-position gas block for suppressed and non-suppressed. You can change the position of the gas block with your fingers, or you can use the tip of a bullet if you find that easier. Push the left side down for suppressed and unsuppressed shooting. Press the right side down for adverse conditions. Those adverse conditions could include a dirty rifle or -40, that sort of thing. And don't forget Uncle Bubba's dirty reloads from the gun show that you couldn't pass up because of the discount. In the case of our military, crummy ammunition's more likely going to come down to poor quality control and manufacturing from other NATO countries. The flash hider is a proprietary SIG design, and it works seamlessly with SIG's 762 QD suppressor. At the back end of the flash hider, you're going to find just a few threads to lock onto. After it's tight, you'll simply lock the locking collar from the unlocked to the locked position. The barrel is 11.5 inches long and has been recontoured to be lighter than that of the Virtus. And remember, SIG said the accuracy will not be degraded. It has a 1 and a 9.5 inch twist on the barrel. SIG doesn't mention this on their website, but it is cold hammer forged. Those of you with a keen eye probably noticed this magazine. You also notice that it's not shaped like a traditional AR-15. That's because this pistol is chambered in 7.62 by 39. SIG has stated that they've redeveloped a new latch system. That way it will work more reliably with various types of ammunition in this caliber. So what comes in the cardboard box, you may be wondering? Not a lot. Basically it comes with a shortened version of the manual, but you will want to download the full version from SIG's website. Comes with a lock and 128 round magazine. We'll talk more about parts like the short stroke gas system and other internal parts in a follow-up video on assembly and disassembly. But for now, it's time to hit the range and try out some of these features that we've been talking about. So stay tuned, we'll have our shooting video coming up next at the range. 5280 Armory, Colorado's Gun Shop. We'll see you soon. Hey, and don't forget, if you like watching videos about firearms and supporting your Second Amendment, or you're from another country in which you had a Second Amendment, do us a big favor. Hit that subscribe button so we can keep this channel going. And thanks for watching.